Hello folks, I'm Jim Hanson, and tonight on the World Peace Report, we're going to discuss the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and specifically how the laws of land warfare apply to rockets and retaliation. A bit of my background. I'm a former U.S. Army Special Forces Weapons NCO. I've instructed the Geneva and Hague Conventions and laws of armed conflict to numerous countries and their militaries, and consulted on the use of these in action. The past week has seen a dramatic increase in the number of rockets being fired from Palestinian territory by Hamas and Islamic Jihad terrorists. One of the terms that is bandied about in discussing this conflict is proportionality. Most folks consider that to be, is the response by the Israelis proportional to the attacks by the Palestinians? That's incorrect. In the laws of land warfare, the term proportionality means that any loss of life or damage to property must not be out of proportion to the military advantage gained by employing it. In looking at the current conflict, the Israeli Defense Forces have not committed war crimes. Their actions have been proportional to legitimate military aims of destroying terrorist infrastructure, and they have done their level best to ensure that civilian casualties are as limited as possible to gain that objective. When the Israelis choose targets in Palestine, they do this based on legitimate military objectives. They hit places where the rockets have been fired from, where the rockets are stored, or where the rockets are built. In every case, they do their best to limit civilian casualties and collateral damage. In some cases, they tell the Palestinians beforehand where they're going to attack, what's going to be bombed. They may tell them over the radio, they drop leaflets, and one technique they've used is pretty amazing if you want to actually stop killing civilians and simply damage the infrastructure. It's called the knock on the roof. That was a non-lethal Israeli mortar round landing on the rooftop of a terrorist infrastructure building to alert the residents inside to evacuate. Instead of simply flattening the building, as they would have been authorized to do by the laws of land warfare, they went out of their way to alert anyone in the area that this is a target, it's going to be hit, and you should leave now. The same cannot be said for the Palestinians. They have specifically targeted civilians regularly. They have fired from civilian populated areas. And they have used mosques and hospitals and schools and other places that are forbidden for military use, essentially using civilians as human shields. Any loss of civilian life is tragic. But the question when you're talking about military operations is the intention and the care taken to ensure they are limited. If that is done, no crime has been committed. If civilians are intentionally targeted, that's where the problem lies.